So we're here today at the Digital Innovation Contest in Games. IC Tomorrow is an innovation programme funded by the Technology Strategy Board. So what's on offer ultimately in this contest is 5 awards of up to £25,000 plus VAT, and that funding will help to go towards enabling them to develop a new digital application or service. Crucially, they then get to test out with industry partners. And I guess that's one of the distinct aspects of the IC Tomorrow programme, is that we bring to the table not just the funding to help get something off the ground, but also that relationship with a challenge partner.
So I'm Phil Rogers from SCEE R&D. Yeah, so the challenge is looking at the use of second screen in relation to games. On PS4 and the next generation of consoles, this is becoming sort of more popular. And so for the challenge, what we want to do is see developers innovate and be more creative with uses of this technology. So seeing something that kind of pushes the boundaries of sort of next generation games and also the powerful phones and tablets that we now have on the market. We're hoping to see some innovative ideas, something creative, something new, something different that makes the whole industry think that's a great idea.
I'm Jake Turner, I'm from Crytek UK. It takes a very, very large amount of time and money to make virtual worlds that we use in games and other industries. And we have a lot of freely available open source or bought for source sample data of the real world. And we want to be able to generate the real world inside the computer without having to build it by hand all the time. I mean, ideally we'd be looking for something that worked inside our technology, but it could be used in any technology because it's quite standard. So we can render and draw an awful lot of information, but we can't generate it easily and quickly. So people who can bridge the gap between generating the source data, using the cloud, processing it, and then streaming it to us, and we can display it in real time because we can do that bit.
So I'm Richard Huddy. I work in Intel as the European Gaming Enablement Manager, which means that I work with games developers on making sure they get the best out of our CPUs and GPUs. The challenge that Intel has set in the IC Tomorrow contest is to look at the plethora of new input devices and find imaginative and creative ways of turning those into a user experience which is fundamentally very rewarding. But what we really want is fresh and innovative new uses, things that take advantage of the opportunities that all these sensors and controllers give you and enrich an experience which is much, much more direct. You just pick up and do things with the machinery in front of you instead of learning new ways of talking to it. You shouldn't have to learn about drop-down menus and things like that. You should instead pick things up and do.
My name's Paul Kinlan. I'm a developer advocate to Google on the Chrome mobile platform. I don't quite know what specific types of applications. The games industry is quite broad. The types of things that you can do in the browser, it's nearly limitless basically. We're not constrained, we're open. If you want to use any of the latest technologies, that's going to be good. And we'd like to see kind of interesting, innovative ways that you actually start these games, start these sessions. And whatever you want to produce, I'll be happy to see, and we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Giles Farley. I'm responsible for post-production at the Pinewood Studios group. The challenge is to create a way in which a more meaningful mass multiplayer game can be played in a large cinema auditorium. And given that the average size of these cinemas can hold 200 folk, our challenge is all about trying to make the experience much more multiplayer in a way that currently isn't the case.
I'm Gerald Buckle. I'm the Digital Development Manager for Odeon Cinemas. Content is always king in the cinema business. What we put on the screen is what draws the audience into our cinemas every week. Tech startups, that they've got a slightly different perspective on things, and I think that they bring a bit more innovation and left field thinking to a particular issue, and I think it's a great opportunity for the smaller guys to get involved in a pretty big business.
Last year we entered the game contest, which was for film, and we developed a game app which created user-generated content to make a personalised trailer towards a film to meet these people who we wouldn't actually normally get to. There were so many gatekeepers to get to these higher level people, and this IC Tomorrow gives that opportunity.
I think my piece of advice is don't be limited on the constraints of legacy older browsers. Just think about what's coming to the web platform now, what's in the latest browsers, and go from there and build something on the back of that.
Think big and laterally, and don't be afraid of any aspect of the challenge. I think there's a great opportunity here for individuals and smaller companies and startups to collaborate with more established companies, and we're certainly looking forward to that happening.
You know, their experience starts when they book their ticket, and then they go through that process of coming into the cinema, queuing up for their popcorn and watching the movie. And I think each element of that experience, we want to try and entertain them in some shape or form.
Don't live in the past, don't think about the past too much, and if you can find engaging ways of interesting me in 15 or 20 seconds or 30 seconds tops, then I think you're on a good start.
Always look at the question that you're being asked and answer that specific question. Try not to repeat answers to previous questions. There's a reason why questions are somewhat different, and when it's asking you about what will the trial entail, you know, give us details of that trial. Try and think ahead. Sometimes it's not always easy to anticipate, you know, what it is exactly that you want to try out and how that relationship is going to work with the challenge partner. But just all we want to see is that you've given some thought to that. Please don't hesitate to ask us if you've got any questions, you want any clarifications. Send an email to support@ictomorrow.co.uk and ask us the questions. There's no point in trying to, you know, keep sort of second guessing everything. We're here to help, and we will get back to you and answer any questions we can, and we'll ask the challenge partners if it's a question directed at them. So don't hesitate to get in touch, and good luck.